Have you ever thought about how cool performance art is? Because, like, whether it's dancing or theater or even music, it's just so interesting to see it be performed and how much these people put the time and effort, their blood, sweat, and tears into making this the best that they can. And almost all the time, it's entertaining, it's wonderful, it's really well done. And I love going to see performances, whether, like I said, whether that's music or dance or theater. It's all wonderful stuff. Hello, everybody. This is That Manga Dude, and welcome to a very special and kind of different video than I typically do. This video is going to be tackling the topic of the first manga to ever give me goosebumps. Yeah, you heard that right. The first manga that ever gave me goosebumps. I've been reading manga for almost 20 years now, which ages me pretty significantly. But there's never really been a manga or a manga panel or manga pages or a volume or whatever you want to call it that's ever given me goosebumps, which I don't know if that's a testament to me just having, feelings of nothing, or I just haven't found that series for me just yet. But as of very recently, I experienced a manga that I have never felt that way before, and it was such a unique feeling, such a special feeling, that I wanted to share it with you and want to basically go into why that panel gave me goosebumps in the first place. So let's talk about the series really quick. The series I've already talked about on this channel before. I love this series. It's going to be in my top 10. I have a feeling by the time that the series ends, it means that much to me. And that is the lovely series known as Wandance. Alright, so I want to talk about dance just really quick in general. So it's something that I've always been interested in. It's like such a fascinating art form because it's almost everything is done with the human body. I say almost because there are dances that feature props, like flags, like ribbons, and other props, like I said. But I also love the diversity of art across countries, regions, people. You get to see like dances from various countries I've always loved. I think African dances are really fascinating. Asian dances across the board, whether that's Eastern, Southern, Northern, Western Asian, it doesn't matter, Southeast Asian as well, all have very unique, very different dances. Yeah, there are similarities, of course, when you get close in between regions, but seeing the massive diversity and just how interesting and intricate it all is, a lot of it focusing on storytelling, has always just been really, really cool to me. And I think Wandance is great at examining specifically hip-hop and those kinds of like really popular street styles that are common today. Now, to give you a quick synopsis about Wandance, Wandance features the story of Kabuku Kotani, who is the main character. He is very quiet and to himself because what happens is that he tends to stutter when he speaks. He has a hard time kind of expressing his feelings, kind of just goes with whatever his friends tell him to do. He's really tall, tends to be pretty athletic, but he never really has connected with anything in particular until one day he sees a girl. Her name is Hikari Wanda, and she is dancing her butt off at the campus, and he is enthralled by her dancing. After his friends record her and kind of make fun of her and being like, oh, like, look at her, blah, 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 kind of like ogling her in a really nasty way, he finally speaks up for himself and says, like, why are you doing this? Don't do that. She's doing what she loves. Like, why are you doing this kind of stuff? Which then kind of pushes him to speak to Wanda and actually get into dancing himself. And that's what kind of starts off this story. It follows the story, like I said, about these two as they proceed through their dance journeys with Kabuku officially learning how to dance. He really, really struggles at first. Like, when I mean struggle, I mean like really struggles because he just doesn't have like the rhythm, doesn't really understand how the steps work. While Wanda's a lot more experienced and kind of puts a lot of pressure on herself to perform, even when she's struggling to learn a new choreography. So as we're going through the story, we start to see how they like what they like. Wanda prefers choreography while Kabuku kind of prefers freestyling, and it's kind of you got to see that contrast as we move throughout the story and how it's kind of sort of splitting them apart in terms of friends and like what they want to focus on, because Kabuku is eternally grateful to Wanda for helping him to learn his new passion for dance, and obviously Wanda's trying to pursue her own dancing career. So we get to a point right before the big panel that gave me goosebumps. So, and just so you know, there's going to be massive spoilers for volume 10 and 11 and everything that's going to come in Wandance. So if you have not read this manga, you probably don't want to, and if you do want to read it, you don't want to continue watching this part because I will be spoiling very significant parts of the story, specifically within volume 11. Yes, this is the volume that gave me goosebumps. Now, right before everything going on in volume 11, Kabuku and his school are going to be joining this massive dance competition. It's known as the Dance Arena Regional Preliminaries, and it's basically the the prelims before the big national dance competition. So you have to get, I think, within either the top 2 or you have to be the top 1 in order to make it to nationals. So this big competition's going on. Kabuku's kind of found his rhythm, kind of found his game and what he wants to do. He's been really into doing freestyle dancing, so choreography has been difficult for him fairly recently. This difficulty has basically placed him into the waiting list, or whatever you want to call the backup dance, just in case someone gets hurt or something like that. So he's kind of seen as an understudy for this upcoming tournament. So he's kind of at a crossroads. He's at a crossroads right now. Does he want to continue to be focusing on his freestyle dancing, what he's really good at, what he's gotten really into, or does he want to go into the choreography because that's what Wanda's been up to? So up until basically the beginning of, right before I want to say an hour before they go on to dance, An-chan, who is the captain, has given him a kind of a resolution. So do a dance battle against Wanda and we'll see what happens. So they do their dance battle. It's really intense. It's really cool. And An-chan offers our main boy the chance to do the main dance, basically the freestyle dance, aka the central dance, to their entire choreography. So he's going to be the one that's going to lead that specific part that An-chan was actually originally supposed to do. He's given that opportunity and he says yes. And what happens during the choreography is genuinely one of the coolest moments in this manga. I told you already, it's the part that gave me goosebumps, so let's get into it right now. These are the panels that gave me goosebumps. I'm pulling my way in. This beautiful set of spreads are something that is so hard to put into words, but I've attempted to try to explain why these specific panels gave me goosebumps. I'm going to start with the story aspect first, with Kabuku fading in and out of the background. This is what I call fantastic storytelling. Kabuku has been struggling with always going with the flow and just going along with what everyone was doing, not really allowing himself to express his feelings because he's worried that people would make fun of him because of his stutter. But because dance doesn't require you to speak, doesn't require you to sing, doesn't require you to use your voice, you use your body. And this is the first time on a big stage that he has really allowed himself to put himself first. It allows to show his confidence and how much he's really grown. You get to see this very unique moment. Even if it's an extremely simple dance, it is his dance. It's his own dance. It is what he decided he wanted to do, and he was able to express himself truly for the first time in front of a huge crowd, in front of a huge stage, and it's just lovely. We get to see such wonderful growth for our main character. Now, coming into the art part, there's so much to love about the art. The subtle movement of the hands, the body is done so well. I mean, from the simple things like the subtle movement of the head at the end of the panels to the movement of the hand and arms moving up and out, it looks so good. What a remarkable just set of panels. Coffee was doing great things with this. I love how the hands move. I love how the hands are drawn in perspective. I love how the arm is drawn in perspective so well. And you can just understand and feel this dance and how this dance is supposed to move, even without those in-between frames. It feels animated without actually being animated. And then talking about even just the smaller things too, the folds in the clothes and how they move along with how the body moves. You could tell that Coffee has put a lot of research into how people move in clothing, how they move while dancing, and it just looks perfect. It looks lovely and it moves so well. One of the other little details that I love too is you can see like the music kind of like moving throughout his body, and I love how that like helps to like kind of push you and where a character like snaps and like kind of moves. So they have that little circle there that's like a little explosion, kind of showing like how quick that movement is supposed to be for Kabo-kun, and how he twists his head away from the camera or away from the reader, and it just looks so cool. This moment is so lovely in so many ways. Like I mentioned, the story aspects, the art aspects, it's done perfectly, and you just can't help but root for Kabo-kun and how he's going to continue to grow throughout the story after this specific dance sequence. It was so shocking for me to read specifically because I didn't know what he was going to pull out. I didn't know what Kabo-kun was going to do for this specific dance, but I think this was perfect for him. Something that is simple but has so much power to it, has so much like I don't know how to explain it. Like kind of like his expression of dance and art and himself. It's simple, but it's effective and it's strong, and it just shows you who Kabo-kun is as a character. And that's going to be it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you got to see just how amazing Wandance is. If you have not read this series, you really should. Wandance is fantastic. It's one of my favorite series releasing right now, if not my favorite. And like I said, it is most likely going to come into my top 10 manga of all time, which is a list that has not changed much over the past 5 years. It's been pretty stuck, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. My top 10 manga series are just ones that are so important to me on a variety of different levels. But I have a feeling that Wandance, because of how important it is to me now, it's perfect. I think it's one of the best series I've ever read. Would I say it's the perfect series for everyone? No, but I do think you really should give it a shot. I think it has a lot of aspects that people can love and enjoy, and for me specifically, that is Kabo-kun and Wanda and how they grow with each other and by themselves. It's lovely, and I I can't suggest it enough. Really, you should give it a shot if you haven't already. And you know what to do. You can like, you can comment, and you can subscribe. Those are all amazing things, and I really appreciate it when you do those things. And yeah, that's going to be it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye!